So just when you thought that the Democrats couldn't be any more relatable, the party of the people with their ear to the ground, so in touch, well, it would appear that they have been listening even more attentively than usual to the wants, nay, needs of the American people.
Come on, man!
And by listening so attentively, and yes, why not just say it, drawing strength from embracing their humanity in the face of all of these pressures.
So emblematic of strength that comes from embracing your humanity, even in the face of all these family and home and public pressures.
Which is what the Democrat Party have come to be so emblematic of. Democrats have been able to reach a place of real understanding, and they have drawn some stunning and brave conclusions. The American people want Meghan Markle as their president for 2024.
Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind?
Desperate Democrats put Meghan Markle as top choice for 2024 White House run against Trump. Though we don't like to admit it, and I think obviously we don't know a better system, a better way of living, a better way of organising ourselves, this is the obvious problem with democracy, isn't it? There are 330 million people in the USA. So many brilliant minds with brilliant ideas. And the Democrats think that possibly one of the best is Meghan Markle. And even if they don't think that, that is what they would have us believe. There has been ongoing speculation that the former Suits actress could be eyeing up a move into the political arena. I mean, as if there weren't enough proof already, if this turns out to be true, and Meghan Markle genuinely thinks that she would be a good candidate for the presidency of the United States of America, that has to be the ultimate proof of her downright unbelievable level of narcissism. What in God's name would make her or the Democrats feel that she is a suitable candidate? Meghan Markle is the top choice among Democrats for a 2024 White House run, new polling shows. Exclusive polling for express.co.uk by the Washington-based Democracy Institute of likely Democratic voters found 64% say the party should opt for a female candidate at the next presidential election in 2 years. And the only slight snag that the Democrats might come across in what otherwise is admittedly a flawless plan of a woman is defining what a woman is.
This is about making sure that someone like me as a woman or any menstruating person in this country.
Because of course the Democrats are not biologists. They're experts in absolutely everything else, just not biology. Anyway, the Duchess of Sussex, who is living in California with Prince Harry after quitting royal duties, came first in a list of potential runners with 27% from the 525 Democrats in the poll of 1,500 likely voters. Vice President Kamala Harris was second with 25%. Hillary Clinton, who lost to Donald Trump and murdered Hillary Clinton, who lost to Donald Trump in 2016, and left-wing Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez were in joint third with 20%. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren, a favourite among the the liberal left, who made a bid to be the Democratic presidential candidate in 2020, trailed behind on 8%. Yeah, if they're the options, I'm not sure Meghan would be my last choice either. Michelle Obama,
The deadliest woman on earth with a dodgeball.
the wife of former US President Barack Obama, has previously ruled herself out despite being a favourite. Democracy Institute Director Patrick Basham said, "We have confirmed that most Democrats want a female and arguably demand a female candidate next time." Yeah, let's take a look at what Patrick Basham had to say.
We've confirmed that most Democrats want a female, arguably demand a female candidate next time. I mean, it's been said for a few years that the Democrats, and pretty soon will be in a position where the National Democratic Party stops nominating white males as candidates, especially white heterosexual males, right?
Exactly, just like what Martin Luther King says, you know, judge people by the content of their character, not the colour of the... Oh.
And so it's a question of which woman.
I'd say it's more a question of what is a woman, first and foremost, but hey, What would I know?
Most likely gets the nod. And while previously we've had Michelle Obama in there, she's not a serious candidate, not because she's not popular, because she doesn't appear to be serious about running.
Our queen, love you. I love you.
And so you take her out. She was the superstar. You take her out.
Steady on there. Don't keep saying take her out. You know, Hillary might be listening and she might get the wrong idea.
And it's very evenly spread amongst very familiar political figures like Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris, rising stars in the Democratic field like AOC. And of course, this is a poor choice of phraseology because of the elephant in the room, perhaps, on the Democratic side is Meghan Markle.
How do the Democrats see Meghan Markle as the elephant in the room that they have to address? How have we got to this point in history? What a time to be alive.
Who continues to make political moves in a non-partisan sense, both domestically and internationally, continues to get her name out there, continues to, I would argue, test the waters in various ways.
Yeah, she is testing the waters, and the results have been overwhelmingly negative. I've made loads of videos about Meghan over the last couple of months, and I've had thousands and thousands of comments, and it's honest to God about 99.9% negative about her. The only people I see defending her are virtue signalers and morons. The only thing I think that you could say in her defense, in Meghan Markle's defense, is that I think sometimes some of the criticism from other channels, from journalists and things, just goes a little bit too hard on her. Because, you know, I don't hate her. I don't have this, you know, vitriol towards her that some people do. I just find her hilariously lacking in self-awareness, and I find that really funny to watch. In other videos, I think she is kind of like a real-life version of the comedy that I like, you know, The Office and Alan Partridge and that kind of thing. There's this sort of celebrity who thinks she's way more intelligent and way more important than she actually is, and that's what I love about Meghan. That's why I make so many videos about her. Apologies, by the way, for the insane amount of noise coming from my neighbours upstairs. I think they must buff the floors every day. It's fucking infuriating.
And in various senses. And she finds herself, I think, partly because of her profile, her almost paint by numbers, if you want to suit Democratic voters, profile as it stands right now.
That is completely insane. The requirements to become the Democratic nominee apparently now are to be a non-white woman. That's who you want to give the nuclear codes to. Paint by numbers. They have no further criteria. The utter disdain for the American voters and the sheer stupidity of anyone who thinks like that. We're somewhere between evil and madness.
And by default, because the other characters, although some like AOC are newer to the scene, they all have clearly defined strengths and weaknesses.
You haven't seen any weaknesses in Meghan Markle. That is incredible. That amazes me.
It's astounding.
Where, as a newcomer, she hasn't been tested, but it also means she hasn't been found to fail. And so she remains, I think, at this point, a viable contender should she choose to go down that path.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Now, this might all sound crazy, but I actually think there are a few factors that are aligning that could mean that this does end up happening and Meghan Markle does run for president. Firstly, if anyone from her entourage were to start to suggest that she run for president, there is no way in a million years that Meghan Markle is saying no, because she's a narcissist and clearly thinks she's way better at everything than she really is. A big problem with narcissists, assuming that she is one, and I think she is, a big problem with narcissists is that they vastly overestimate their own ability and they have absolutely no concept of what other people think of them. They can't really see themselves. I think going into politics is something that really appeals to narcissists. I suspect, I don't have any evidence, I suspect though that narcissists are overrepresented in politics. I think they're people who often believe that the world owes them something and they can't seem to get that from what they've trained as. So say you're a doctor or a lawyer, but you can't quite reach the top of your profession, or an actress, for example, and you can't quite reach the top of your profession, you know, in the free market of whatever profession they happen to be in. And politics appeals to them because they can get to the top of the profession of politics, right, without actually having any substance, without actually really being good at anything other than saying the right things at the right time and being less awful than the other candidates. So that's the first reason why I think this might happen, because running for president is right up Meghan Markle's alley. Second reason, or the second and third reason, is I think that other narcissists would back her and morons would vote for her. So what I mean by that is that narcissists campaigning for the Democrats or working within the Democratic Party would be more than willing to sell Meghan Markle as a product, as a victim of misogyny and racism. And virtue signalling voters would be willing to accept that narrative, and a lot of stupid voters would probably believe that narrative. And then there's a whole bunch of other people who just say, well, she's better than, let's say, Trump is the person she's running against. Crazier things have happened. Are you ready for Markle 2024? Who should be her running mate? Elizabeth Warren? 2 women of colour?
We live in the most inclusive, progressive, diverse, prosperous society ever in human history, yet we behave as if we've never had it so fucking bad. We're told that there is prejudice wherever you look, because there aren't enough female biographies on Wikipedia or enough BAME cyclists on the road. Apparently, the biggest challenge to London cyclists is not safety, it's diversity. I'd like a skinny latte, please, with 1 pump of sugar-free hazelnut syrup. Would you like it in a cup that publicly displays that you're happy with the notion of same-sex couples having the right to... I just want a fucking coffee, mate. It's 6:30 a.m. and in 20 minutes I'm scheduled to interview Amber fucking Rudd. I just need the fucking caffeine. Give me my fucking skinny latte. We don't call it a skinny latte anymore, sir, because that phrase is considered fat shaming. So I would just fuck off then.